So that report was filed by Sarah Apenko, who's herself an expectant mother. And it's not really very weird to hear about all these cravings by pregnant women. But the question is, are all these meals and funny cravings healthy for them? Like I mentioned earlier, NewDay, who's a senior dietitian from the Kolebu Hospital, will share some more information with us. Good morning, NewDay. How are you doing?
Good.
Right. So, what accounts for cravings in expectant mothers?
Various researches have been done. We have not come to a definite conclusion yet. Some say hormonal and the change in their taste buds, smell, and all that. And some say that it's the body's way of trying to get the nutrients that it needs. So the mother is taking this all sort of things so that she'll be able to get the right nutrients for the baby.
Right.
So there are different schools of thought,
but some of these cravings are usually very weird. I mean, this morning we were talking about it, and Nanaba mentioning some people like the smell of rain, or petrol, or clay. Some people eat clay; they crave to eat. I mean, are these healthy? Are they normal?
You see, the craving in itself is part of pregnancy. A majority of the women experience it. That's not where the problem comes from. It's what you are craving for. You know, somebody mentioned watermelon fruits. Some crave for water.
Watermelon is normal. I mean, it's something you could eat on a normal, even if you're not pregnant.
You could crave for healthy things that are going to help in the development of the baby and your own health. Fruits, veggies, protein, meat, fish. All these things are healthy. And then at the other side too is the wrong things in quotes. Someone is craving for very sweet things, so taking a lot of the soft drinks, which are giving the mother empty calories. She's getting a lot of energy.
Not very healthy.
Not very healthy. Very fatty foods, very salted foods, sugary, caffeine-based foods. And then the more dangerous craving is called pica. Okay, that's when you crave PICA. You crave for non-nutritive substances. So somebody is craving for sand, paper, paint, chalk. Okay.
To eat or to smell?
To eat. Soap. Yeah. So
and is it okay for expectant mothers to eat all these things?
It's not okay.
But some do eat.
Some eat it. So that's where the problem is. When your craving will lead you to eat something that's not going to be helpful or beneficial to you or the baby.
What is the strangest craving you have heard of?
I
mean, soap and all the paint and all those things are right out there, but is there anything that...
fecal matter.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you said all this is due to hormonal imbalance and changes.
They can't really pinpoint exactly. They are still trying to get where the cravings come from and what is the cause. There are different schools of thought. As I said, some are blaming it on the hormones. Others say, okay, the body's way of, maybe there's some nutritional deficiency, a nutrient deficiency, maybe iron. So because of that, the body is trying to let the mother eat certain things that will have iron. But they have not come to a conclusion about it. And they are still trying to find out what causes it and why people crave for specific things like paint.
Hearing some very interesting things on Living It this morning. Of course, we are talking about weird cravings or nutrition for expectant mothers, and my guest is NewDay, and she just told us about some of the strangest things that she has heard. When do these cravings usually start?
Most mothers report that in the first few weeks, maybe 2 to 3 weeks between, or the first month of pregnancy. Some get it earlier, but some say 2 to 3 weeks of pregnancy. So it starts very
early. And it goes
early.
All the way throughout the duration.
And the interesting thing is that it changes. Okay, so let's say in the first few weeks, the person is craving for very sweet foods. Then maybe somewhere 2 months, doesn't want to eat that again, wants very salted foods and all that. So sometimes, interestingly, the cravings change as the pregnancy progresses.
Right. And does this happen for all pregnant women? Is it common for all, or there are some who don't get any cravings?
There are some who don't get it, but they found out that a majority of the pregnant women experience it. But we can't talk for all the pregnant women. Some don't have these cravings.
What essential nutrients would you say a pregnant woman would need to have a healthy baby?
The main principle of a balanced diet applies. you're having your carbohydrates, you're having your proteins, you're having your fats and oils, your nutrients and vitamins from fruits and vegetables. Okay, and then macronutrients, those little things like that play a major role, like iron, vitamin C. You have vitamin D. You have calcium.
So are we talking about supplements or the actual foods that
if you sometimes it depends on the mother. A doctor might recommend or prescribe some supplements depending on how the pregnancy is progressing. But if the mother should have a very good balanced diet, she's going to get all that she requires for the healthy development of the baby. So she's having the right quantity of her carbohydrates, she's having the right quantity of her proteins, she's having the right quantity of her fats in there and everything, and she's having the iron in there, she's having the folic acid, she's having the vitamin D foods, calcium rich foods. The baby is just going to be fine.
And do you need to, do the pregnant mothers or women, do they need to eat more? Do they need to eat extra? Since you're eating for two, do you need to have a double of the portions that you usually eat?
Yeah, interestingly, this eating for two, I really liked it from the video she explained. Yeah. It's more of the quality you're giving the child. Fine, your calories will increase because the baby is being built up.
Yeah, there's somebody else eating all the food that you're eating.
But it's not as much as people think.
Okay, so you don't have to usually eat a bowl of kinky, you don't have to eat 2 or 3.
2, 3. You could take, it depends, every mother and the diet that goes with it. But if you have the mindset that if I was having 4 ladles of rice, normally, I'm going to have 8 ladles because the baby is there. It doesn't work.
It doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work like that.
You can still eat your normal serving.
You find yourself eating more, and it's allowed. Okay, so maybe 2 ladles extra or a ladle. But some mothers, their normal diet kind of carries them with just a little in addition, carries them. So it's sometimes unique to the mothers, but the excuse people have sometimes that
I'm eating for two.
So. 1 bowl of kinky is not enough. The baby is going to take about 2 extra. Sometimes it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work. A little more in addition, yes. So maybe if you were taking, in terms of calories, just giving you an idea. Maybe the mother was taking, let's say, 1,000, 7,000 each, 2,000
per meal or per day.
Per day.
Okay.
So it goes a bit higher, but it depends on the mother. Some are able to just do with just a little in addition, and then they're fine. The baby just is perfect.
What foods aren't good to be taken during pregnancy?
Okay. There are certain foods or certain things that are very dangerous to the child. Alcohol is a no-no. Okay.
At all? Some people say maybe a glass of red wine every now and then is not bad.
It's toxic to the baby. You are taking your alcohol. The baby is there thinking about his or herself. She didn't say she needs alcohol. He didn't say it.
So no alcohol at all.
It's advisable to avoid it. Some people advocate that something, but so far I think what I've heard is as much as possible you take it out, because there's a condition that comes with alcohol, and then the baby when the baby is born, it's like the baby is withdrawing from alcohol
because they still need that alcohol.
They need it. You made the baby an alcoholic, so the baby comes out and then withdrawal symptoms. So.
And that affects the baby.
Yeah, it could even kill your baby. So there's a lot of things that happen. So alcohol, so far we cannot say no, but other people will say, a little bit. It's a no. If you take too much caffeine, it's a problem in pregnancy. And too much salt is a problem. Too much sugar is a problem. So you see,
everything in moderation.
In moderation, that's the key. In the moderation, and too much salt, too much fat. Ends up you get a very big baby because you have extra energy. Yes, you have extra energy and then the baby is also like kind of overeaten in quotes. And then the bigger the baby, it comes with its own complications in pregnancy. So and then there are other things that the doctors will advise you not to take, certain medications and all.
So make sure you talk to your doctor during
pregnancy. It's very important. It's not that you hear about this herbal preparation. It's good for it gives you iron, and then you run for it, and for all you know, it's going to give you a lot of problems and affect your baby.
All right. Now, lastly, what happens when a pregnant woman does not get her cravings, the things that she's craving for? This morning, Anaba was telling us about a woman who craved fancy kinky, mashed kinky, but insisted that the fancy cake to be used for the mass kinky must come from Yamaransa. If you didn't, then she wouldn't eat it. So in such a circumstance, if you are unable to get that fancy kinky, then what happens?
You know, it's so weird. People even drive around in the night looking for a specific meal or something. Actually, nothing happens to the mother. Only that once she doesn't get what she's craving for, that means she's not going to eat anything else.
So we must make sure we get their cravings.
We have to try to pamper the pregnant woman, but it's not a life and death situation. Only that, for example, if the mother wants the specific kinky, it's strange when you give them something else, they kind of throw up, their appetite is poor and all that. So you find out that they eat what they crave for. So sometimes you find out that if they are not really getting it, then their nutritional status is affected. Because I wanted this kinky, you brought me rice.
So it's all in the mind.
It's if we say that we are being unfair to them. As I said, we can't really.
So are you saying that we should make sure we get their cravings for them?
If they don't get it, it's not going to be a whole issue. But
it won't affect them in any way.
Anyway, nutritionally, because if this specific kinky from this place is not. There's nothing so unique about it. If I go and buy it from this other woman.
So should we just buy from this other woman and say it's from Yamranta?
That's why. Strangely enough, sometimes they will know. A colleague once told me that even the person preparing the food, she had to go and call, she liked banku and okra soup. She had to go and get a specific lady to come and prepare that thing for her. Anything else, she was going to throw up. So something like this, sometimes you can't really try to explain it nutritionally.
So we just try as much as possible to get their cravings. What about the weird, unhealthy cravings? Like for instance, I've just been told that our very own makeup artist, Prudence, she's pregnant and she craves powder. I mean, that is definitely a no-no. So how do we, wean her off it? What do we do?
Effect is a no-no. You have to.
So do you tell them, no, we can't get you the powder to eat?
There's something that we substitute. You try to find something that is
healthy. Has powder in it?
No, that tastes like it.
Like powder?
Yes, that tastes like it. Okay. For example, there's a certain gum that would give you that flavor.
Okay.
So you have a healthier substitute for these dangerous ones. Something like paint, we can't even indulge in that. We
can't indulge at all.
We can't even we can't even discuss it because it can poison the system of the mother and poison the baby as well. So some of these very dangerous cravings is a no-no.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for your time this morning. It's been a very, very interesting discussion with Dede Kwajo, who's a senior dietitian from Kolebu, and we've been talking about weird cravings to do with nutrition for expectant mothers.